Um, Good morning for the members live session. This session we will be doing questions for the October month to my members of the astrology, and we pick one question from each of the members. So let's get started. I guess we already have a list of questions from bunch of you. Let me get my other page ready as well. Got it. And I see that there are about one, two, three, four, five, six new members. Shelly Narang, who's joined Dev Astrology. Thank you, Shelly. Om Mane, Krishnamurthy, Swarup Manchala, Sriram Kora, and Rishabh. Thank you guys for joining Dev Astrology and putting your trust and faith in me and being a part of this team. Um, I will get started with the flow of the question, and as we speak, we'll address. I think one of the feedback from someone was that they've tried and refrain from putting in calling out the date of birth. So I shall do that. I shall put that into implementation from now on. Hopefully that will be helpful. So I'm picking up the first question of Ram. And guys, I'll intentionally not speak up the questions I'm going to read through unless and until otherwise I require you guys to provide some clarification. Okay. All right. So your question is, Rama, around dating life. So I'll address that. Let's quickly prepare your chart. And guys, I would have misread Nawamsa. Somebody did a personal consultation with me and they provided me inaccurate birth. And then when they got clarity, they are expecting me to do another reading free of cost. See, what happens is, guys, if you mess up with some information at that times, it can get challenging. And unfortunately, the snapshot readings, I have a very small window to answer all your questions. Okay, so that could be tricky. But Rama, I have put in your details. Now the question is, maybe I should read up the question so that it is easy for you to understand. But I will try and avoid reading the date of birth. Okay. So, how are you? Wondering about my dating life? I've had very high standards and I'm still single. And had a few instances where I liked someone and approached them, but they all had boyfriends. Could you tell me what about my dating game will start and how would it be? So, essentially, we have to understand, Rama, that from a fifth house perspective, what is happening, and then from a dasha perspective, how things seem to be changing. So, see, you're a Scorpio ascendant, and your fifth house has Mars. And in the sign of Pisces. So if you look at that, uh, essentially you are undergoing through Sun Mahadasha. Within that, you've already got over through Mars, and I'm assuming, Rama, you've said that you had all boyfriends, so you're a female. Um, the current period that you're running, which is under Sun, you are running through Jupiter Antardasha. And number one, that is going to be very, very interesting because Jupiter happens to be your fifth lord. And for a lady, it is also the planet that signifies your husband, as well as Mars signifies boyfriend, is how I take this at. Okay. So every time you have an antar or a pratyantar of these two planets, that will give you a very strong possibility of finding a connect with someone. And see that you find, from a romance perspective, for you, it will be important to see if the other person has Venus in Scorpio or in Cancer. That will give a very strong chance, or even in Pisces, that will give a very strong chance of you dating with that person. All right. So, Rama, that is the best period. That is the best sign for you to figure out Venus of the guy. Okay. And then from a Antardasha perspective, you are currently in that Antardasha until December. So there is a very strong chance that you might find somebody who could be interested. Even otherwise, when you approach through Sun, Saturn, Sun, Mercury, Ketu, etc., not in Ketu ideally, every time you find Pratyantar of Mars or Jupiter, or even Venus, from a relationships perspective, you will have a strong chance to interface with someone and get engaged with somebody. Okay, so that is the short and sweet answer to your question. By the way, if you do not expect that relationship to culminate into marriage, even getting your Venus in trine with that person's Rahu could be interesting, but that will be an affair sort of a situation, and I highly do not recommend going for anything of that sort. But I hope that clarifies and you find the answer of what you're looking at. Okay, so best of luck, and I hope things work out for you, Rama. All right, with that, I'll pick up the next question, which is for Natal. Um, Natal's question is. Let me put in your date of birth, my friend. October 1997, 21, 27. Okay. All right. So, Little, you're a Gemini ascendant, Saturn in retrograde in the 10th house. So, I hope this is the correct chart. So, Natal's question is uh, I'm trying to understand how much inheritance I leave for my kids. I'm trying to know what type of profession would suit me. All right. So, Natal, you basically want to see that. What sort of inheritance you are going to leave, and what is the kind of profession that should be good for you. See, being in a technical profession, first of all, in a technical job, is going to be a very good call out for you. Okay, so if you are looking for so you said that you are in a broking profession, and see, your Mercury is combust, that is your lucky lord, it is getting combust in the fifth house. And being in a technical role and a technical job is going to be a much suited profession for you. Okay, there is no doubt about it. There are two indicators, both from Mars as well as Saturn perspective, so you would want to think about it. You have a good Raj Yoga as well with Saturn sitting in your 10th, so that's a very good placement there. And I will come back to the period just in a second. So you are running through Jupiter Mahadasha, and within Jupiter you are going through Jupiter Venus, and your Venus is sitting in your seventh house. Okay, so see, from a education perspective, the important thing to note is that Venus is the lord of your fifth. So you trying to accomplish all that by 2027 seems pretty likely, actually. Okay, it's very likely, and if you'll put in the right efforts, Nittle, it is, at least I can see it from your chart as well. It seems possible that you should accomplish it. The best, you should put a target in terms of February 2027 to close that goal. Okay, that is number one. Number two, from your Jupiter's aspect perspective, see, Jupiter is sitting in debilitation in your eighth house, and it is giving an exalted aspect to your fourth, which is a very solid sign. Now, your own inheritance is seen from the eighth house itself. I'm pretty sure you would have had, or you will have, some sort of inheritance in place. But there are two ways to look at it. See, from your kids' perspective, eighth to fifth is your 12th. Okay, which is where Venus is sitting, and Venus is um giving. Um, Venus is actually third to itself in the sign of Jupiter, and it is the lord of fifth as well as the lord of 12th for you, and sitting in seventh. So that's a decent sign. But if you have to understand, it is going eighth to itself as well. Okay, so it is highly possible that whatever you are planning may not work out, but still you will be able to do something pretty good for them. That is number one. And it'll be that. So for example, see, that seems okay to me. Now, I cannot put a number as to you're going to leave $500,000 or $1 million or $10 million. that looks for tough to me to predict. But what I can tell you is that with Jupiter's aspect, exalted aspect to your second house, gives me a strong indication that you will be able to do good wealth creation in your life. Okay, and now passing it on to your kids also seems very much possible. But the only point is that whatever you are planning for or accounting for, either you should be able to do some bit more from what you've planned for. And then, I mean, it seems something unexpected will happen at that period that should translate it. Okay, and I don't want to talk about the time period, because then I will be making few other predictions which I'm not comfortable doing. I don't want to do. But Venus sitting in good dignity in the seventh house, being the Lord on fifth and eighth, gives me a very strong indicator that you will be able to support your kids from that perspective. And Natal, I kind of like this thought process because I have very similar mindset in place as well. I think that we should not just think of our own generation, but we should think for a few generations coming down the line for us, right? So at least one or two generations. So I kind of resonate with your thought process, and I understand what you're trying to do, but it's very hard for me to predict what sort of amount would you be able to accumulate. Okay, it completely is dependent on the clan, on the environment, on the structure that you're living in. Why? Because for someone $1 million might be huge, and for someone it might be a very small amount, and it is completely dependent on individual circumstances. Okay, but all I'll say is that from your own life perspective, the environment in which you are living, you should be able to leave a decent amount, the details of which you can match through your own kids charts. Okay, that will give you a lot of clarity. It is not necessary that you might do an equitable distribution between your kids. That's also possible, and that is where I'm saying that it might not be exactly with respect to your planning. So unless and until you have some sort of a will structure in place, and you document it, because if documentation comes into place, then other houses will also get activated. Okay, and I'm making this prediction based on absolute sudden departure of something, and that's all I'll say. So I hope that gives you some clarity. And I know last reading you had sort of provided inaccurate details, and you were trying to figure out how to work out. I hope this time around you've provided the right information, so this is helpful for you. But I'm very glad, Natal, that you are thinking in that ways. Okay, and best of luck for your preparation, because your target in terms of timelines of 2027 is pretty damn accurate. It seems very much achievable. You are running the dashas to achieve so. Okay, all right, then we have a new person, Naveen, who's joined the reading today. Naveen, thank you for putting your trust and faith in me. I see your question as well. Hold on a second. So it'll be 16. Kakinada. Okay. Guys, I'm intentionally refraining from calling out the date of birth and time of birth, because a couple of in fact, one person when strongly suggested, and then a couple of people kind of called this out. So I thought I'll try and help you guys with this one. Okay. So Naveen, I have taken your date of birth, and I'm just cross checking and making sure I've put in the right information. Yes, I have. So, your question is, I'm planning for further studies in foreign lands, curious about my career, additionally about my. Okay, let's stick to one thing, and then we will go to the other bit in the next part. Uh, I think at this point in time, I think the priority is further studies in foreign lands, and let's try and figure that out. You're a Gemini ascendant. Fifth Lord and 12th Lord is Venus, like it was in the previous reading. Now, from a dasha perspective, you are running through Saturn, Mahadasha, and within Saturn, you are undergoing Saturn Mercury, okay, which is your which is a very important dasha that you antar dasha that you're running in terms of Mercury being your Lagna Lord, okay, and it is placed in your seventh house. So, and that too in retrograde motion. So, um, marriage perspective, we will talk in a bit. I guess you already have some idea, and that is why this question is also coming up. But my as I immediately look into this, a double click detail is that within Mercury you are undergoing Venus as well, and this is the reason why this thought process is coming to your head, because your Venus is in seventh in conjunction with this Mercury, okay. And let me just quickly have a check in terms of your degrees too. So Venus is 8, Mercury is 9, 858, 910, okay. Okay, so combustion risk is not coming into play, but Mercury and Venus are coming in a very strong conjunction. So, first of all, my friend, please be very, very careful in terms of not having any kind of looking out, seeking out, or having a colorful future outside of marriage. Okay, that could be very, very tricky, and it could be very, very detrimental, because Jupiter, which is your ninth lord, is going, sorry, seventh lord is going into eighth, and it is getting combust as well there, and it is in its sign of debilitation. And this combustion would mean that it is going to impact your wealth creation as well. Okay, so that's a little tricky. Saturn is giving an aspect to your seventh house. Then you have Sun sitting in there, and Mercury Venus conjunction is not at all a good thing to happen from a married perspective life. So you will have to be careful on that front as well. Okay, so figure that out, that you take due measures and do not take any kind of undue risks in that space. Now at the same time, from a career perspective, the current dasha looks very well, very good, and current pratyantar dasha, but I'm not confident if that will be able to, that is enough time for you to make a decision, because the thought process around that will be pretty strong in your head. Okay, now here is my suggestion. If you really want to pursue education in a foreign land, you should wait until 2027. Okay, and post which you should apply for it, and you could actually find success in going and pursuing education abroad. It is also, see, some sort of preparation from a competitive structure perspective. If you have to appear into one, doing that in 2025, specifically in May, June, July period, will be a very good decision for you, Naveen. So plan for that in that period. There is, within Mercury, you see, there is a good window. Mercury is the lord of your fourth as well, but moving away from that, and I can give you a couple of more antardashas that should give you some clarity. Yes, see, also moving away, or between April to September of 2026 is also possible. That window is also a window which can give you chances to travel away, but you will have to appear for the examinations in 2025 in selection process, whatever. 2025 has a very, very good window for you for getting selected. In fact, um, yes, 2025 has the best window. So the examination period which I recommended is to go for any kind of competitive selection during that period. Movement period, you will have a window in 2026. Of course, 2027 post window that I've given, it's far away, but that's a very, very strong window, and you will be able to pursue very good education in a good college as well. Okay, a good degree, or maybe you can get degree by that time, within that period itself, because that 3 year window is going to be very solid for you. um, and the current period that you're running, if you already have taken any kind of competitive examinations, and if you have scores ready, Naveen, then in that case, until December also, you are running a very strong period for you to make this happen, translate this into fruition. Okay, in that case, you can go ahead and accomplish it. I hope that answers your question, Naveen, and it satisfies your curiosity. Guys, if there are more people who've joined in and who are not members, please explore, consider exploring the membership. It's a nominal amount that gives you the opportunity to ask on live, relatively slow paced reading, where I take your one question every reading, and I do two such sessions for my members every month. So this is the first session for the month of October. So if you're new here and you're thinking of it, please consider exploring. Guys, any kind of contribution is not going to help. I will not be able to answer questions based on contributions. So you can go ahead and withdraw it. It's completely fine. You have the window right now to withdraw it. You will get your refund back from YouTube. So go ahead and do that. Yesha, I'm picking up your question now. I just entered your date of birth, and your place is Vadodara. All right. So Yesha's question is, have been struggling to clear the last level of the chartered CFA exam. Currently waiting results on 17th of October. Good chances of passing the exam or not? Uh, would be in Feb 25. What are the chances? Then I've been pursuing altogether. All right, Yesha. So um, your dasha is going to give some indicator as to if you have a good result awaiting or not. And your sixth lord is ruled by sun, which is sitting in conjunction with Saturn in its own house in the 12th. Okay, that gives an indication how successful you could be in terms of cracking it open. Now let's quickly look into the dasha that you are running in, and that will give us a lot of clarity. So first of all, your lagna lord is Jupiter, sitting in ninth, which is a good thing, in conjunction with moon, another good thing for you. And then Yesha, you are running through Rahu Antardasha currently. Okay, and it is going to continue till September of 2025. So we have to find some solution within this period itself, because it seems that you are time bound. Now, to your question, 17th of October is when you are expecting the result. So let's quickly look at that period. Rahu, Venus, Rahu, Venus. Okay, okay. See, there is a decent chance, but this Rahu is aspecting your sun as well. That is the tricky bit. So, fortunately, unfortunately, we have to find something within this Rahu Antardasha. It's going to impact. See, I have one remedy for you, Yesha. First of all, and I understand that your job is demanding as well, and it would be because Sun is sitting in conjunction with Saturn. It is going to do that, Yesha. It is going to do that for sure. Let me look at the. Actually, you have a better window. Is it March or Feb? Feb 2025. You have a better chance in Feb, okay? Especially post 6th Feb. You have a much better chance because it is going to be the Sukshma period of Mercury itself, which is your, um, which is the Mahadasha you're going. Actually, sorry, it's not your lung lord. It's Mercury is the lord of your seventh and fourth. So from a knowledge perspective, it is going to give you success. One second, I need to just make sure that I just, yeah, Yesha. Actually, you have a better chance um, in October. Okay, you have a better chance in October to get a positive result. Um, hmm. You have a better chance in October to get some good outcome. And Venus is the lord of your third as well as your eighth, and I see a better possibility of things working out with your own effort in October versus the Feb period. And if you do not get a positive result in October as well, I would see Mercury's placement. And sorry, I'm taking other guys. I'm taking a bit of a time. This is a crucial question and it is important one. So I want to just take it a little slow. I don't want to rush into this question. Okay. Um, See, Mercury is the lord of fourth and seventh, and it is sitting in a very good placement, good dignity for you. It is sitting in the 11th house. Okay, so it should bring in gains. The Mahadasha that you are running, it should bring some positive gains for you. Ideally, what I was seeking was that if somehow Moon could get some strength, okay, it would have uh, it would have resulted into a much better outcome. But the problem is that uh, Moon is getting into debilitation. Good thing is that Mars is also getting debilitated and they are forming an exchange for you. Okay, that's one of the most strong things I say in a chart to happen. So that thing is happening for you, and you are having that Gaj Kesari Yoga coming into your ninth house. Again, a very solid thing. Okay, and this Mars is retrograded. So retrogression is little bit of tricky as well as it's a strong point that it'll see it's a niche bhang which is coming in place for you. Okay, so somewhere or the other it will come after turbulences, but just from a time, and that's where I was hoping that some connection happens with Moon and Mars or something in your dasha period, which unfortunately is not happening because the periods where it is happening, it is in November, and you said that the results are awaited in October. So I should expect a decent chance because of your Venus. If your efforts have been right, if you've put in the right efforts, then this Venus will reward you because it's the lord of third and eighth. Okay, but if the efforts have been tricky from your end, then you could be in a challenging spot. And my only point is Mercury could also give you that outcome because Mercury is the lord of all these things. It is the lord of the accounting and data science and all those streams of business or education, and it is sitting in the 11th. So you are running through a decent period. Better chance is right now. If not, please give a full hearted attempt in February as well. Do not give up because Mercury Sukshma will come within Venus's Pratyantar. Okay, Isha? So do not give up. And last but not the least, should you demanding job and stuff, that is because of your close conjunction of Saturn and Surya. That's the thing which is, see, when a planet is combust, you must do the remedy of sun. So please start offering arc to Surya on a regular basis without fail. That is very, very important, my friend Yasha. It is a key remedy for you in this chart. Do that. Okay, you sort out your Surya, everything else will get sorted out. Your Jupiter is placed very well. Your lung lord as well as your 10th lord sitting in ninth, very good placement. Um, okay, so I hope that gives clarity, Yasha, and I've taken a moment to make you understand this for this very specific reason. I hope that gives you the answer. All right, now we have another reader, Swaroop Manchala. Swaroop is also here. Thank you, Swaroop, for putting your trust in me. People who are new to this live reading, I just want to let you know I will not be taking any paid question in this one. Only and only members of this channel will get answers because I focus on members reading twice a month, and that is something I do more diligently than the other live. So if you want to get your questions answered, please consider taking membership, and you will get the membership from your laptop or your Android phones. It is not available on iPhone. It will not be visible on iPhones, so please consider that. Okay, and then you can put in your questions, and I take 2 questions every month to address your concerns. All right, 6:46. Okay, it's PM. 1846, and the place is Nalgonda. Okay, so Swaroop, I've put in your details. I'm just validating it for one more time, intentionally not calling out your date of birth. 28. All right. So I have your chart in front of me, Swaroop. It is a Scorpio chart. And guys, I really like the discipline with which you are putting in. People are not doing any kind of spamming. They are putting in articulating their questions, and they're putting it in a stream in a single package. Or even if you've entered two, three times, you've entered in a sequence so that I don't have to surf through. Thank you, guys. Thank you. It makes the quality of the reading better for everyone. I really appreciate, for after a long, long time, I've seen such a disciplined approach. And I must thank you, all of you, that you've been like in such a good order. So thank you. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate this. Makes my life simpler while I'm reading this. So the question is, when do you think I have a scope to get married, and what kind of a partner to expect? Anything to look out for? Got it. So you're a Scorpio ascendant, and your ascendant lord is getting combust in your seventh, along with Mercury and Sun. You have two malefics sitting in your seventh house, and then the challenging bit is I consider Mercury as a malefic for marriage, sitting in seventh. It loses its directional strength as well. And then you have your sixth lord Mars, which is your lung lord as well, is also coming and sitting in your seventh. Okay. So my friend, Sarup, I'm pretty sure why you're asking this question, because you would have also done some bit of your analysis around this. And the other tricky part is that your seventh lord is coming and going into sixth, which is Venus, sitting in conjunction with Saturn. And there's a mutual exchange between Mercury and sorry, Venus and Mars. Okay, which is a very interesting thing. See, all not all thing can be bad here, but yes. Um, See, there is a pecking order that I consider, and that pecking order is exchange of planets, followed by the retrograded planets and their strength, followed by the debilitated Nijbanga coming into play, followed by exalted, and followed by own lord sitting in their own houses itself. And you have that Parivartan Yoga. But the very tricky situation for you is Lung Lord himself is getting debilitated. And I see somebody has become a new member. Sorry, it's my responsibility to give that call out. Hi Sandeep, thank you for joining Dev Astrology and considering the membership. Really appreciate you coming in here. Thank you. Uh, I will just come back to the natal's remark is that I'm trying to make a switch. I have an offer as of now, but it is difficult to get a job, as you told, technical, but they're kind of iffy because I have an incomplete post graduation in data science. Oh my gosh. It was done in 2021, but I didn't complete a project in ML as a subject, so they didn't complete their degree. Natal, it is important for you to consider, and I know you're calling out the problem why you're struggling with that. You still need to figure out how to fix it. Now, I don't know how you will fix your stuff with your college or your university, whatever that is. But see, it is written in your chart. You will do very well if you get into that technical role. Okay, you should consider doing that. All right, I'm coming back to Swaroop and his question. Okay, so your Swaroop, your question is married life. Okay, so my friend, the tricky situation is that this lung lord is getting combust. First and foremost, here, a lot of times people suggest that you should start doing remedies of Mars and Mercury here. But what is combustion? Combustion is, if you see, the moment you are being born, wherever, right? And it is not you, all of us, when we are coming out of our mother's womb, there is a specific situation of the planets all around the universe, and based on which this chart gets prepared. Okay, so when you were coming out at that point in time, from the eastern horizon is where you form your lagna, which is your Mars lagna itself, so Scorpio lagna itself. So Mars was right behind, or it was in a very very close this thing, so it was not observable from that direction, as to where it is standing. That is what has happened to your lagna lord. Okay, now that lagna lord is not having enough gravitational power in a direct role to have some positive impact, or because he's your superhero, he's not able to give that impact to you. Same is the case happening with Mercury as well. So the first thing, and a lot of people who come to me for personal consultation, and there is a very famous astrologer. I used to follow her, but and she has like 200,000 plus subscribers, and she's done this detailed video on YouTube. Long time back I'd watched it, and it is so inaccurate, but I'm not one of the people who will leave comments and who will say stuff to demean people. I try and avoid doing that, because there are a lot of good things also she does, right? So one of the biggest mistakes that some of these astrologers are doing is that they are assuming that combusted planet will somehow be transformatory and will give some transformative results. And there is a reason I have told you that pecking order. If you understand that pecking order's depth, you will understand why I have suggested that. So exchange in your chart is a very good thing, okay, that you have between Mars and Venus. Now what does that exchange says? That exchange says that house is the house of job, daily regimen, divorces as well, and seventh is marriage, partnership. So one is breaking apart and other thing is coming together, okay, and that exchange is happening. That means that there will be a cross of those energies. Not necessarily on the first instance, had this exchange not been there, and I would have seen just Venus coming in from 7th to 6th, I would have said very strong yoga of divorce in your chart, okay. The second thing is, if I would have seen only Mars coming, sixth lord coming into seventh, I would have said lots of trouble, court cases and stuff in post your marriage. Post your marriage. Okay. Now it could be from your spouse, it could be after the entry of spouse in your life, but anything is possible, not necessarily from your spouse, but troubles are there. Okay. Now this exchange is happening is means it is going to give a lot of crest and troughs in your life. Okay, it could result into divorce, or it could result into dragging of things, or it could actually fix some of those problems as well automatically because of the exchange. Exchange is more powerful than the yoga of seventh going into sixth or sixth coming into seventh, because nothing works in astrology like one simple rule. It has to work in combinations, okay. And when I read things, I have 20 combinations running in my head. So that one combination is running in my head, that exchange is the top priority which is coming into play. Now retrogression is not something that I'm impacted. The other thing that I'm getting impacted is Mercury coming into the seventh. While it is getting combust, it is actually it is making me happy about it. So Mercury's combustion is solving my problem, because all the negative traits that it could have brought in, it has actually curbed them. Okay. The other thing that is getting curbed is sixth lord coming to seventh. It is curbing the traits of sixth into seventh as well, to some bit, because of that combustion. Okay. Now, how do you come out of it, and how do you try and find a fix? See, when Sun comes and sits in the seventh, it is the natural debilitation of Sun, because Sun gets debilitated in Libra. Okay, it's the natural debilitation of Sun in your case. That is where you have to understand that the first fixes. And when Sun is in seventh, people do not advise to actually offer Surya water to Surya, arg to Surya, because they think that it is going to cause a lot more fights and troubles in the marriage. That is why some people advise that as well. Okay. I say the other thing to my wife. I say, don't worry about it. I'm telling this to you as well. Start offering water to Surya in your case. Number one thing. You should not do the remedy of Mars and Mercury right now. If you will do that, it's not of it's not of any help. Okay. Start doing the remedy of Surya. Second thing is, start doing some remedy of Venus. That is going to be very, very critical. If you fix these two planets, there's a good chance that you could have a decent marriage. You've been running through Venus Mahadasha. You have, I will not recommend you to get married in Venus Mahadasha, because you are in Mercury and then in Ketu. Okay. Consider that in the period of Sun. Okay. And then depending on the other chart, not just on your chart, somebody who is knowledgeable enough will be able to tell you what is the right period to get married. And yes, in your case, do not get married without absolute chart matching. Your Navamsa is not so bad. In that case as well, sixth lord is coming to seventh, but it is still manageable. Okay, because your Jupiter is exalted there. It is going to help you some bit. Yes, and your Mercury is also in a decent position there. Not too great, but decent. So there are better chances in your life. Yeah, good. Actually, you'll have good kids too. Okay, you will have good kids too, so don't worry about it. All right, I took some time, Sarup, because I wanted to make sure you get clarity on this front, and it was a tricky question because you had a tricky chart in there. Okay, so now we will jump on to the next one. Rishabh, thank you for joining Devastrology. Thank you for coming in. Hi, Om. Om, I'm going to take your question. Om Mane, thank you for considering membership. You are a new subscriber, as you said. I will uh, uh, three. Okay, I'm intentionally not speaking out the date of birth, guys, because somebody suggested they've tried and avoid that. So I'm trying and doing that. It's a little unusual for me, but I'm trying my level best because I'm not habitual of doing that. I see bunch of more people are in audience here. Consider taking membership of the astrology, guys. Here you get detailed responses, one question each in each reading. In the month of October, you will have two such readings. This is the first reading for the month of October, and I hope that you will be able to find value. There are some of the members who've been with me for many months now, and a lot of them who have these blue stars, they are the newest ones with 1 year 1 month old membership. Okay, or this is the first month or the first day for them. But I already have your chart prepared. You are a, a Capricorn ascendant, and what you seek is something with respect to your career. Okay, so first thing is that you have your moon chart as well as your ascendant chart, with moon being in lagna in a good place. It is in the same position itself, and you have already started with Rahu Mahadasha. I will be releasing Rahu Mahadasha video this week. Okay, so you will get a lot more clarity in terms of details as well. Please do not forget to watch it. It will give you a lot of sense from that perspective. Guys, just give me a second. I don't know why am I getting hiccups suddenly. 1 second. um, your Rahu is in your fourth and Ketu is in 10th in conjunction with Sun and a combusted Mercury, and your Saturn is sitting in retrograde in your sixth house. Okay, first and foremost, my friend, you will start your career in job. Okay, but that job is not going to last long, or you are going to have some dissatisfaction in your job in a continuous basis. um, yes, you will have a lot of dissatisfaction in your job, but it will not be a bad job per se. It's just that you might personally not enjoy being in job. Okay, um, however, you have that is something that is meant for you because it is your lung lord coming and doing that. And I anticipate that in the Antardasha of Saturn, which you will have starting from 2029, you should get into a job situation by then. About 24-25 years old is what you should be by then. And most probably you will get a job and it will last for you for some period. Post that Antardasha of Saturn, you will have this inclination that you want to explore something different and you are not enjoying what you're having through. And there will be a lot of confusion in your mind. Please do not quit your job immediately. You will get some very strong indicators in that Mercury Antardasha as well as in that Ketu Antardasha of yours. Okay, I'll do all these detailed discussions in my Rahu video as well, but you will have those indicators in your head. Please do not straight away quit that, because ultimately your life is going to take you towards running your own stuff. Okay, and please understand, not everyone needs to start and do their business on day one, or not everybody does job only or business only on all life. We explore different things as part of our career, and we should do that. Okay, some of the richest entrepreneurs in the world, they've done that in their career, where they've explored everything possible, right from job to doing side hustles to running their own business and stuff. You have that possibility coming um, in your 40s or late 30s. Okay, once your moon comes in, there will be nothing stopping you, and you are going to explore that, and you are going to increase it in your Mars dasha. So the period from year 2039, somewhere around your 35-36 age, And that is also the prime period, because that is when your Saturn will also mature. Okay, it is in retrograde in fifth, it will mature at that point in time, and that is going to be the best decision for you. Wait until then. You will not be happy initially. You might enjoy, but you will not be happy long term in your job. But please do not quit before that. I have made that mistake. I have similar combination, and I went bankrupt in India, and I was destined to come to a foreign land, and I did not. I was fighting that because I wanted to set up my own company in India and run that, but I struggled. And now I understand what dashas have to do. Okay, so even if that longing of running your own business is there, you have to wait for the right period. So please wait for that right period, and you will do well. Okay, the same Saturn is going to help you after that. And see, Saturn, when it is the teacher for us, it is telling us that once you become ready, once you deserve something, then I'm going to reward you. I have learned this in a very hard way, in my personal experience. I'm sharing you own money. So think from that perspective, and you will do pretty well, my friend. All right. And that with that, I'll get into Aditya's question. Hello, Aditya. This is your second month, I guess. Thank you for continuing with the membership. Really appreciate that. We'll pick up your question. Um, I have put in your date and time, and now I will cut up. All right. So I have put in your details. So I'm currently working in USA and just want to know how will my career be in terms of accumulating wealth and starting business in future, if any. Absolutely, Aditya. So yes, you are an Aries ascendant, and you also have your moon in your first house, and you have these bunch of planets sitting in your 10th with Jupiter, Sun, Venus, and Mercury all together. Two of them have very good directional strength, and two of them are pretty weak, which is Jupiter and Venus. Pretty weak there, but Mercury and Sun, they are very, very happy in this position. Okay. And let me just quickly check your degrees as well. Um, See, Mars is sitting in retrogression in your sixth. Very similar situation as to the previous reading, Aditya. It's your lung lord. It is going to make you do job. Very, very similar situation. It is going to make you do job, and you are going to gain in the foreign land because 12th lord is coming in, sitting in 10th, 11th to itself. So you are going to gain, and the even though this Jupiter is debilitated, remember what I said, that there is a mutual exchange between Saturn and Jupiter. Parivartan Yoga is a much powerful thing, again, Aditya. So it is going to be very, very helpful. Now let's look at some of the periods, okay? Um, let's see where that window is coming for you. Oh, man, you are running very similar dashas to mine. Very similar dashas. Very interesting. I sort of already know, dude. Your Jupiter is still May, and mine is okay. I'll not comment that, but very, very similar periods. Okay. So do not quit right now. Do not do that. You will have a window in, you have a much earlier window between 2027, 2028. You will have some indicators. Okay. Actually, I would have loved Venus's Mahadasha, but that is over for you. So Mars and Moon are going to be hypercritical. Mhm. So 2027, 2028 is one good window where you should explore some sort of side hustle. Okay. The reason I'm not saying business is um, because your see 10th Lord is going to 12th, it is going three places away from itself. So there is going to be some hustle and bustle as well. And the dasha for you, decent dasha for you to push that across will be post 2032. See, because you already have Gaj Kesari Yoga in your chart as well. So that brings a lot of ease when it comes to job and stuff. And until that period, ideally, you should not quit your job. Okay. And you will have all assets and wealth that you will accumulate. See, 2027, 2028, you will have that window, but somehow or the other, it might not pan out exactly. You need a relaxed lifestyle for some time. And see, this Mars is going to make you quit your job. It is in retrograde. It is going to make you quit your job. That is for sure. So target that period, my friend. Target that period, and it is going to be, see, Saturn is the lord of both your 10th and 11th, boss. Target that period. It is going to be one of the best windows for you to crack this open. Okay, Aditya. So I hope that, and yes, you do have you will also do business after a certain period of time. You will also do that. All right. Um I will move on to the next questions. Krishnamurti is also here and he's also joined the reading. Krishnamurti, thank you. I see bunch of you have joined the membership, and many of you are watching the channel as well. But before I move to Krishna, I have to take up the question of Sri Ramkora. Sri Ramkora. Okay. 1987. 16. Yeah. And place of birth is Raja. Andhra Pradesh. Okay. So I have your chart prepared in front of me. Now the question is, when do you think I'm going to get married, and what kind of a partner to expect? Anything to look out for? Curious about my partner. All right. Oh boy. Sorry. So see, your Jupiter is getting in Kendra with Moon, so at least that niche bhanga is happening for that Jupiter. You are a Virgo ascendant with Mars in Lagna with Rahu, and this Mars is in retrograde. Then you have combust Venus, combust Mercury, and combust Saturn with Ketu and Sun sitting in your seventh house. Okay, combustion is actually better here. Good. Uh, Seventh lord is going to fifth. It is going into a debilitation, but niche bhanga is happening. There will be initial big hiccups in marriage. First of all, marriage is delayed. Okay. Second thing is, it might not be a marriage that there are challenges. That's all I'll say. There are numerous number of challenges. You could be inclined to have a love marriage as well. There could be initial struggles as well in your marriage, and then you might be able to sustain that. But there are a lot of troubles because fifth lord is moving to seventh, and so is sixth. But it is getting combusted, which is a better thing to happen. Okay, I'm happy that this combustion is happening. My only worry is that Venus is also getting combusted, which is not something that I would have desired ideally. Okay, and this Venus is the lord of your ninth as well as your second, and it is coming and getting combusted in seventh. Now, Mercury's combustion in ninth is also something I'm okay, but Mercury is your Lagna lord getting combusted. So, with this combustion, first of all, Surya Puja is very important for you as well. Okay, very important, boss. Sid S, welcome to Devastrology. Thank you for joining in. It is very important, my friend Sri Ram Kora. And I think if you do not find a fix towards, um, if you do not find discipline, it is going to be very challenging. The third bit is Ketu is sitting here, and I'm not comfortable with Ketu's positioning when it is sitting with Venus. Okay, it see these combinations give 2 3 indicators. Either it can cause loans and litigations and stuff in marriage, or it could result into early ending of marriage, or it could result into early departure of the partner itself. Okay, that is the tricky part. Now you are running through Mercury Mahadasha. Within Mercury, you are going through Moon. Your Moon is sitting in its own sign. The best placement is that of Moon itself. Okay, in your chart. Actually, unlike others, I would want you to consider, if you have a chance, if you know somebody and you are already in a relationship, to consider getting married. But that window is between September to November of 2024. I know that's a very short window that I'm telling, but that is what I see right now. Okay, if not that, then you have a window between June to August of 2025, but it is not considered as a great period from Hindu religion perspective to get married. Post that, you will have an opportunity between 2029 to 2031, which is where you have Antardasha of Jupiter, but you need to find a great or a good match with some a decent person to consider getting married. Chart matching is absolutely critical in your case as well. See, Mars aspecting, then Ketu's position being there, then Sun also being a malefic sitting in seventh, and then these three combusted planet. It is a heck of a confusing relationship situation that arises, and unfortunately, Jupiter is not able to help here. Now, let's look from a moon chart perspective. It is important, and from a moon chart perspective, your Saturn is your seventh lord. Jupiter is sitting there. Jupiter is a malefic for that actually, but that it is still getting a niche bhanga. Okay, and then Saturn is coming to your ninth house and getting combusted. That's a second strong indicator of troubles in marriage. Okay, seventh lord going to nine, three places away from itself means that if you are not putting enormous amount of efforts from your end to fix a marriage and to fix the relationship and continuously work towards that, then it will doom a lot of trouble. I'm so sorry I have to give such negative news, but I need to be honest. That is my job here, and this is basis whatever a little I understand. So that's a tricky bit, my friend. I'm not saying I'm not one of those believers who thinks that you should marry somebody or not or anything of that sort, because I genuinely do not believe in it. Uh, my suggestion only would be that do a very detailed analysis of your chart, because in your Navamsha too there is a Ketu and Surya conjunction in the seventh. Excuse me. So that matching of charts, horoscope matching is going to be very, very critical in your case, because you need to see that sometimes it is the partner, it is the girl who has an extraordinary chart in her position, her seventh, her Jupiter is pretty strong, and that could fix a lot of things in marriage. And if that happens, I think that could be the only remedial thing. But start doing Surya Puja again for yourself. I don't know why am I getting so many combusted charts today, and a lot of new subscribers who've come in, they have combustion, so I'm a little worried on that front. And guys, the only remedy is fixing Surya, because he's hiding those planets behind himself, right? That's why it's not visible, and that's why the gravitational strength is not reaching us. So I hope that gives you your answer, Shriram. I'm picking up the next question for Krishnamurthy. Krishna, welcome to Devastrology. And your question is March. Guys, I'm refraining from speaking out this thing. I hope I'm able to resist it. Okay, not make that mistake. Hyderabad. And again, you also have bunch of combusted planets. Gosh, I'm currently working in the US and would like to understand how my career will progress in terms of building wealth and achieving life stability, promotion. Okay. See, good thing is that your sixth lord is sitting in eighth and it is forming a Vipreet Rajoga. And when Jupiter goes into the eighth, I think in many of my videos, Krishna, you would have seen that I am kind of happy about it, because it is one of the good planets that goes there, and it is in conjunction with Ketu as well. You will get a lot of interest in spiritual matters and occult science and learning astrology and all that stuff. You will get a lot of interest. And then Moon is sitting in the sign of Aries. It's your lung lord sitting in the 10th. Okay. It is sitting in the sign of Aries, whilst your 10th lord Mars is sitting in combustion in your ninth house with Sun. So while that Mars is getting combusted, Moon himself and coming in sitting in here is a strong indicator to me. And see, 12th lord is coming to ninth. And from your moon chart also, your 10th lord is going to 12th. Though it is going into combustion, you will stay in the foreign land forever in your life. It is meant for you. Okay, you are going for from through your moon Mahadasha as well. Very, very good period you are going through. Okay, within that you are going through moon Mercury. Okay, there could be some indicators at few times where you might feel that whether or not I'm going to have any visa issues, will I be able to stay or not, and will there be any challenges. Some hiccups will come, but you will be able to stay. I'm telling you right now. Okay. There will be frequent changes in your job. Like, you will not find stability in your career. That is something you will be frustrated with, but do not worry, you are going to do pretty well in the long term. In absolute long term basis, if you see from your age perspective, you are going to do decently well. Okay. um, I want you to be a little careful from your career perspective, uh, or maybe your father's or parents' health perspective as well, in 2026. Okay, during that Ketu Antardasha, just be careful because the position of that Ketu, and please do not be spending like crazy as well during that period here. I want you to be careful on that front. Do not go and obnoxiously spend your money everywhere. It is going to be unwise idea. Okay, but you will make your career here. You are going to achieve decent growth and wealth, and uh, from your promotion and growth and success perspective, um, you do have a chance next year. Next year you have a better chance, okay, of finding a promotion. This year I will be surprised if that happens. You are really, really lucky. But next year you have a very good chance of finding promotion. Yes. Yes, next year you have a very good chance of finding promotion, and boss, you will make good wealth. Be rest assured about it. You will make good wealth. You will make accumulate good amount of money, but there will be frequent changes in your job. So please be open about it. Do not get frustrated that you have to be prepared, and that frequent changes could be that somewhere some layoff happens, somewhere some visa issue comes for some time, sometimes some other problem comes in life, somebody's health and family is not good, all that drama will happen. There is no this will happen, and I'm telling you, nobody will tell you this will happen in your career. Sometimes you might have to just sit for 6 months at home. Do not panic. 3 months at home, it might happen. Do not panic. You are having good wealth yoga, you will do well, but that frustrating situation will be there. Combustion is there in your chart as well in the ninth house too. Okay, a lot of times there will be delays in terms of things happening for you properly. So do not get frustrated about that. But thank you for joining Dev Astrology and taking membership, guys. Whom you are watching this is something that I do 2 times a month, and I do a little slow paced, non-rushed reading so that I can spend time and understand what happens. Akshita's question is here, and we'll take that. 1996. Okay. 25. And Akshita, New Delhi. All right. So Akshita's main question is that married life for her. And Akshita, your Venus is exalted, sitting in the fifth, seventh lord, going into fifth. Very, very good sign. But the problem is this Venus is in conjunction with Ketu. Okay. Jupiter is sitting in its own house in the second. You will do very well in life. Monetary wise, you will do very, very well in life. You might have a very strong romance as well. Somewhere that romance will not fructify or may not fructify. And if that romance fructifies into marriage, then that person, your spouse, might be de-alienated, or he might be very cranky or something. So one thing is, do not get disheartened if things do not work out with your boyfriend. Okay, do not get disheartened. एक तरीके से अच्छा हो गया. It's something good that happened if that happens. But if you are getting married, please be not surprised that this person is acting a little weird. Like, he'll be a very good husband, by the way. Your husband is going to be a very, very good guy. You are going to find a gem of a guy. But there will be some gap. At some point in time, you might find a situation that you're sleeping in different rooms, or the conversation in general is very like snappy. The person snaps on something. He's like upset about something, not happy about something. Okay. And worst case scenario, it could result into divorce. Worst case scenario, because Venus sitting with Ketu gives that risk. Okay? But for a female, I will hope that doesn't. My recommendation to you will be look for a guy who has Mars in Scorpio, or in even a debilitated Mars in Cancer or in Pisces. Very good indicator that he could be the person that you will get married with. And I will not get into more sutras of Gemini astrology, but very good indicator. And you need to also bring, see, this Venus, first of all, it is getting into 12th. It gives a very strong yoga in conjunction with Ketu, you looking out and trying to cheat. Akshita, please be, I'm saying you, okay? Please be super careful about that. Because if that situation happens, and I know a lot of times when I tell people you can go ahead and do that, people are like, no, I'm not that kind of a person. And I know we are not. But you do not know how circumstances in life pan out and how you start behaving. And I have seen enough in my consultations how things change in life. Enough. Okay. In fact, more than reading these books, I've learned through reading charts, talking to people, and it's been an eye opener. So that is a risk in the chart. Okay, that chart says that it could bring in some kind of an affair. By the way, seventh lord going into fifth, 11 places away, beautiful thing. I have given a lot of positives about that, but this is one tricky thing that you should consider in your chart, and remember, you should not fall for it, else it will be problematic. Okay, I hope that answers your question. With that, we'll pick up the next one. And we have a question from Rishabh, and I'm going to take that. I see Sid S has joined, and so has Shashank. Guys, thank you for putting in your trust in me and joining in. Harshit Tyagi, please take your money back. I will not be answering any individual questions. This is a members only reading. Mandeep Bains, please go ahead and do that as well. I will not answer those questions because this is members only reading. If you want your questions answered, please consider subscribing and taking membership, because you get 2 questions every month, and I take patient amount of time to answer the questions of my audience here. Okay. All right, now with that, Rishabh, your question is coming up. Takes again. I see Roberto has also put in question. Roberto, hi, thank you for joining in. I'm seeing you. I saw you in the last live that was for subscribers. Guys, Roberto is one of my oldest members. And when I say oldest, yes, in terms of our seniority as well, he's one of the most senior people and respected guys, and he's a very loving and respectful person here. And then he also happens to be the oldest person with respect to the duration in which I think he's one of the first 10 members of the channel. Okay, so I always say a hello to him specifically because I feel I've never met him, but I feel as if I have a bond with him. All right, Rishabh, your question. I have put in your date of birth, time, place is Thane. Okay. I was struggling to find that. It was hidden. All right. Um, yes. So you also have the same question like Akshita, because Akshita had her Venus in conjunction with Ketu, and you have your seventh lord in conjunction with Ketu, and that too sitting in the eighth. See, my answer is same, fortunately, unfortunately, and you have another tricky situation. You have Venus retrograde and in combustion in its own sign, though, but in the 10th. Um, yeah, man, it's a tricky situation again. Hmm. Let me see how close is this conjunction. Saturn is 1239, Ketu is 1949. Good thing is they are moving in opposite directions. Okay, and You've just started through your Jupiter Dasha. Your Lagna Lord is Sun, by the way, sitting in the 11th house. That's a very good thing. Your Jupiter is retrograde in the 5th. Again, the romance bit that I said could be tricky for you as well. Guys, I've got pollen and I don't know, I've been sneezing a lot. If I do, please bear with me. I want to be practicing all etiquettes, but since I was hosting a party last night and I'm not doing perfectly well, I was out in the open for long, I guess. See, Jupiter Saturn Dasha is started for you, and this is a period that can give you the possibility of getting married. Now, I don't like when when astrologers are so strong and bold to predict that this person should not get married or will not get married and stuff, because I'm not happy about it. Okay. The second thing is Saturn and Jupiter are in exchange for you, Rishabh, and that's a good sign. Okay, somewhere or the other, this Jupiter has some sort of an control or impact on this Saturn. Now, one thing is, guy like you will have lots of double thoughts before doing anything wrong, Rishabh. I can tell you that because of this Jupiter. Okay, and it is in seventh to Sun as well. Moon is getting combustion. That's a little worrisome for me, and Venus is in retro, and that is also getting combusted, which is a worry for me. You had an exalted moon, but unfortunately, because of that combustion, that thing is not able to show its superiority, and then you have such a beautiful combination of both Mars and Mercury. I know they are not friends, sitting in 10th, and like directionally they are very strong. So uh like situation from all those angles looked pretty well, but there are two three yogas. See, the Mercury, sorry, Mars, Mercury with Venus, Mars with Venus, Moon with Venus. It will give lots of partners in life. Okay, and then you have Ketu with Saturn. Like, Saturn is going eighth, so lots of or the possibility of having lots of partners in life is highly there. You are running through a period where you can get married. So my recommendation to you is, see, Ketu is not able to keep promise. Ketu says promise, and that's what Akshita I was telling you as well. Ketu is like a promise, and when it is sitting with the seventh lord, it is not keeping the promise because it is bringing in detachment. Can you bring in promise? Can you bring in commitment in your life? And how will that come? You will have to take a very, very tough call. You will have to decide that you will not be interacting or mingling with just anyone in life. You have to negate all the aspects of that conjunction with Venus, even though that Venus is combust, it is retrograde, it is powerful enough. It is much more powerful than that moon, okay, which is exalted yet combust. Very, very unique combinations you've got, Rishabh. So you will have to make that commitment to yourself that you do not make that mistake. If you don't, I say that you have a window running and you can consider getting married. There are a couple of periods within this window as well until 2027 that you have to be very careful about. Again, chart horoscope matching with the other person. And guys, finding the dates is not about guna matching and doing 24 out of 36, 34 out of 36. That is bullshit. I don't know who does that. And there have been some people who've come to me with paid reading and they've said that this is what was predicted. So please do not jump into that kind of a situation. Do it with respect to the dasha matching of both the spouse and the girl, and that is how it should work out. So Rishabh, think on those lines and see it works out for you or not. And I hope you've got some indicators. I don't want to be very explicit, that's why I was speaking in that tone. I hope that gives you clarity. Okay. All right, I'll now pick up question of Aether. Aether, thank you. You've been a member for about a month now, I think. So I'm assuming you've put in this as July. Okay, so that's how I'm taking it. Uh, and your place of birth is Noida. So Aether, you need to put in very specific questions next time, because when you say basic reading, I do not understand. You've asked about wealth, so I'll give some indicator, but ask specific questions. It will be helpful. Now your second lord is Mercury and it is your 11th lord as well, and it is going and sitting in the 12th. Okay, means both your second and 11th lord of gains and lord of wealth accumulation, is coming and sitting into the house of 12th. Means it is doing, and it is sitting in the sign of Cancer. Means you will be spending a lot of money. Okay, but your lugn lord is coming and sitting in 11th, so means that you will spend a lot of time and energy in terms of earning a lot of money as well. So you should do some sort of work in the fashion industry or industry related to Venus, in medicine, health, or something of that sort as well, will do well for you. And you should utilize your efforts in that direction to make money. But I think you will have huge amount of interest in buying things which are of high value branded items, expensive stuff. That is going to excite you a lot, Ether. So um, I hope you have good interest in astrology as well. Jupiter is your eighth lord coming into Lagna. It brings in longevity too, and it is your fifth lord as well. So you must be a creative person, Ether. I can see that, but you will have to keep a check on your spending, okay? Or else you will you will have lots of expenses coming your way. But post marriage, I think your wealth is going to increase dramatically as well. I see some changes happening from that perspective too. So either I hope that answers your question, and that tells you what kind of wealth you should be able to accumulate. But post marriage, there's a definite increase in wealth that I anticipate for you. Okay, all right, Roberto, so I'll pick up your question now. It's been a while, and I know you came in a couple of times and we could not chat, but good to see you again, buddy. uh, and thank you for putting in your trust and faith in me and your love all this while, Roberto. um, you've been very, very kind and very, very patient with me. Thank you. So I'll take up your question, Roberto. Okay, best time for speculative gains between 2024 2026. I hope you're not planning to visit Vegas and do some spending out there. um, Ideally you should not be planning for any kind of speculative gains, but there could be a window. Yeah, ideally you should not be thinking in those lines. Okay, but hmm, it, I'm trying to give it from 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. See, from your moon chart also, your 8th lord is getting into 12th. It is getting into exaltation, so it will cause all expenses. From your lung chart as well, your Devon chart as well, your 8th lord is Venus. It is getting into combustion and in the 12th house. Ideally, you should not be looking for any kind of such movements in life. However, if I were to just look at gains, even your lord of gains is sun is going into 12th. It is coming into a lot of, you have a lot of expenses your way, Roberto. Um, but let's see, Mars is the one which forms a decent dhan yoga for you. uh, and let's figure out if it forms some sort of a connection with Jupiter or Venus or Sun and gives us some money. Okay, let's see that. So in December you have the second week of December. Okay, 7th to 15th, which has Rahu in Mercury, in Jupiter in Mars, whereas you have this possibility. In fact, the first half of December, rather, I'll say, yeah, the first half of December might give you some kind of gains, okay, of 2024 itself. Then Then the first half of March could have some of that possibility. First half of December, first half of March of 2025. Okay. And don't even think about it in 2026. You have Rahu Ketu coming. Very, very tough period. Don't even think about it. Okay. So those are the two windows where you might seek some positive outcome coming your way, some gains. Okay. But you have a tendency to spend a lot, and I will advise you not to think. I hope gambling is not the idea, but because unexpected speculative gains possibility is there. Okay. Those two slots that I've given you, you might want to figure out something about it. All right, P Shank. Thank you, man, for putting your trust in me. And I know you are also one of the new members. So thank you for being here. Um, Let me quickly put in your details. Um, 0050 Mumbai. Okay. All right, buddy. So, oh my gosh, there are quite a few new members who've joined in, and I was not expecting. I'm moving in pretty slow. Um, Let me come back to the reading. So, P Shank's question is, when will job change happen? Okay. Ketu is sitting in your sixth in the sign of Aries. Mars is sitting in debilitation in retrograde in your ninth house. Moon is combust. Saturn is combust. Mars is the Lagna Lord. Okay. And Jupiter sitting in the Lagna itself. And Mercury Venus combustion for you as well. Sorry, conjunction for you as well. So, my suggestion for job change is, see, the current period is the one which is already running in for you. Okay. And until November, you have a decent window, boss. Until November, you have a decent window of making a job change. This year itself, 2024. If not, actually, until December, I will say, you have a decent chance of making a job change. Yes. This year itself, until December, you have a very good chance of making a movement. If not now, then you will get a window in March, April as well. March, April, some parts of May too, when you will have a window to make a job switch, and you could consider that period too for making a change, and it will be a decent switch. But current window is much better. Okay. And from your marriage perspective, again, I'll give you a window, and that window, what I see is, see, next year 2025 you have a small window, but it's not a great window in my mind. Okay. 2028 seems a much better period for you. It's a little delayed, but 2028 seems a much better period for you. But next year also you have a chance of getting married. Okay. Next year too you have a window in the second half of the year, but 2028 seems much better period for you to consider that. And yeah, and Jupiter is in your Lagna, you should consider marriage in Jupiter Mahadasha itself. That'll be a better thing to do. So job change and a marriage period. I hope that gives you clarity, my friend. So we'll go and pick up the next question and see who's the. Rama says I'm male Dev. So dude, you asked your question about boyfriends. So maybe it was a typo from your end, because you said everybody I try to date they have boyfriends. So not sure if you're a gay and expecting something of that sort. You should have given me clarity, because I assumed, I read it as boyfriend. I remember very clearly. but they all had boyfriends. That's what you've written. So if you were gay, you should have just made it clear to me. I would have answered it that way. Okay. Nevertheless, next time we'll take care and we'll figure it out. Just please be very clear if that is the expectation. Next question is from Shelly, and I know Shelly also has recently joined. Shelly, I'm assuming you are a female. And Shelly, no, you are not bothering. You've taken the membership, and this is what you're supposed to be doing. You should be asking your questions. So you're not at all bothering me. Okay. I'll put in your details now. 2230. So you have Ketu in 12th, just like me. Yeah, spiritual path is there. Spiritual path is definitely there, Shelly. Before you get into that spiritual path, there you have to enjoy materialism, Shelly. Okay, Venus is with Rahu, and you have to enjoy materialism. Yes, I got your question. So, see, you have to enjoy materialism, because if you don't do that, um, it'll the purpose of chasing that spiritual journey will not be achieved. That's what Venus with Rahu does. So, have some relationships, have some connection. Please get married if you're not already married. I think marriage is definitely there in your chart. You should get married, Shelly. But there is no doubt that spiritualism is going to take a primary seat. Jupiter is in conjunction with Saturn in the 8th. Ketu is sitting in the 12th. It is getting an aspect from Jupiter. Um, and post marriage, it will take its peak. If you get married, you will find its peak through that. And people like us who have Ketu in 12th, we have to somewhere or the other, you know you will automatically find that inclination coming in. And I can see some period, I don't want to talk about it, because I don't want to give. An astrologer or a person sitting on the internet in front of a screen should not give you that. It should be your own calling. You will find your answer yourself, Shelly, and you will reach there. There's no stopping you from reaching there. Okay. Some alienation, some distance will come in your mind from a family perspective. Try and avoid and doing that. Mentally you will feel that kind of an emotion. Try and avoid doing that. It is not necessary, it is not required. Stay in the family setup. Do not jump towards sannyasa yoga. Okay, that is not even needed. It's not, I'm not even saying it is there in the chart, but from a moon perspective, because that Ketu is acting that way, it might give you that kind of a thought process at some point in time, and you will figure out what point in time. And I know why you asked this question. Okay, but I don't want to talk about time periods here. And please enjoy materialism. That is important to achieve spiritualism. It's very important. Unless and until you know what sour tastes like, you will not be able to say that you prefer sweet or you prefer spicy or sour was good enough. So try everything. It is worth it. And there is a reason everything is created, because that's what that one, whoever that is, Shiva is what I call, or whatever name you give, is created it for that reason. Okay. All right. Shreyansh's question. And I see a lot of people have joined new. So Shreyansh, welcome to you as well. 10, 11, 2001. Sorry. Which Uttar Pradesh? Okay. Currently in family business, thinking of doing MBA. Should I do business or job? Please tell me future about career. Right, guys, there is some issue which is happening in the chart now. Okay, it has finally come up, and I start getting a back pain now. Gosh. Guys, I'll take up one question per person. So those who are entering second question and stuff, I will not be taking two questions because you already see how many people are there waiting about getting their questions answered. So I hope that gives you clarity. Please be respectful. We take one question per person. Doesn't it could be your question or your family, friend, sister, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is. It is one question per paying member. So because there are other members very patiently waiting and watching this as well, right? So we should respect their time too. So if you are new here, guys, and I see many of you are watching this who are not my member, please consider membership. I do this thing twice a month, and I usually the free snapshot reading is getting rarer and rarer. I try and do that once a month, but this is more frequent and diligent. Okay. So Shreyans, to your question, you are in family business. And see, Saturn is retrograde sitting in the fifth for you. It is your lucky lord. Um, and it is in the sign of Venus. Venus is in own sign in 10th with Mercury and Sun. And you will have interest in education. I can clearly see that you are right. Currently in family business, thinking of doing MBA. Should I do business or job? Okay. So let us quickly look into your dasha, okay? Because MBA is going to be important for you. It may not be a bad idea because of that Venus connection. Okay, because of that Venus connection, it may not at all be a bad idea for you, Shreyansh. But let me just look into the dashas, okay? And yes, boss, you are actually running through a period, Moon, Jupiter, Venus, and that is the reason this question is coming to your head, boss. That until January you are running through that period where you might consider doing that. And if you have already taken some examinations for MBA, CAT and MAT and GMAT and whatnot, and if you've closed that, then there is a possibility that you might take an admission. Okay, you might. If not, and if you've not done all that stuff, then post June of 2025, you will have a very, very strong inclination to do that, and you can consider it. You can consider it. I will not. Yeah, boss, you can definitely consider it. Okay, I will not recommend you to consider necessarily for an MBA. So stay back and study. And guys, whosoever is contributing 100 rupees and stuff, please withdraw your money. You don't need to pay. Universal Soul, I will not be answering any individually paid questions. This is dedicated time to my members, and I'm very, very focused when I'm doing reading for my members. I will not be taking up any uh, half a dollar questions in here. You have to put in invest in membership and be part of the channel. Uh, Sorry, I'm articulating it this way, but I don't even get half a dollar for this contribution. Thanks for your kindness and generosity, but please wait for the free reading monthly to explore that. I will not be. This is completely for my audience. Okay, Shreyansh. So you can consider. And by the way, education is going to add value. This Venus, Lord of fifth and 10th, sitting in 10th, it will add value. You will contribute well towards your career, and your lucky lord is sitting in fifth in retrograde. It makes you knowledgeable person as well. Okay, Shreyansh. So I hope that answers your question, and I told you the period as well. Post uh, current period till Jan, and then post June, second half of 2025. Interesting period. You should consider that. Actually, post June of 2025, you should consider and finish that MBA in 2 years because you're running that period till Jan of 2027. Huh. Got it. Try and get an admission. Maybe if you've already got it, and then you might get into a college by June. So very good idea for you to pursue that. It'll be very good. Very good idea, Shreyansh. Go for good college. Best of luck. If you need any advice or suggestion from me, I've also done MBA from one of the top 10 B schools from India. So I can give you some idea. I mean, I'm not very updated about India right now, but yeah, or even about your CAT preparation. Got calls from all IIMs and stuff, so I can give you enough idea. Anyways, Mandeep Bains, thank you for 100 rupees, and I'm assuming you have already taken it back, so it has gone back. I'm coming to Anshuman. Anshuman, thank you for being my member, and I know you joined last month, so uh, thank you, boss, for trusting in me. Okay, let me quickly put in your birth details, and then we'll get started. Calcutta. Okay. Why are you thinking negative? Your Saturn is exalted. It is it is sitting in the fourth with Moon. So from that perspective, it gives a little bit of a trouble. And from your moon chart perspective, also your Mars in 12th, but doesn't mean it is not promising marriage. So Anshuman, see, a lot of times these astrologers say that you will not get married and stuff. I do not believe in that. Okay, marriage could be delayed in your chart. Yes, that is because of Moon getting impacted because of that Saturn. That is possibility. I understand. But right now, since 2018, you've been running this period, and you've been running one of the best periods. But I think last time also I made this remark: do not think of getting married in Saturn Ketu, which is still May of 2025. Saturn Venus right after that, all the way till 2028 will give you that window, and you must consider getting married in that window. Okay, you have Venus in Ketu, which is a problem. So if you've had, sometimes this Venus Ketu indicates no marriage, and or many people say about that. I think it says lack of relationship or ending of relationship and all those things that I was telling other people as well in this reading before. So Anshuman, that is a definitive challenge. Okay, but that is why I'm saying do not get married into Ketu. And you, how do I put it, there could be significant age gap. You could have a partner who's older than you and might have had some divorce or something in their life. That is also possible. Okay, Moon with Saturn, I'm telling you from that perspective. Ketu with Venus is giving trouble. Your relationship, romance will not fructify for you, boss. Romantic relationship will not fructify for you. Do not even try that, boss. Love marriage, I don't want you to do that. You go to a matrimony, social media kind of a combination, or somebody who's might have ended some relationship will work out with you. But there could be significant age gap, either very very young to you or maybe even older, or mentally there could be significant mental gap of some sort in belief system or something of that sort. That is what is going to work out for you. Forget about looks. That is what is going to work out for you. I hope that makes you understand. And you've been running through the period of getting married for some time now. So I'm surprised if you've not got married. Maybe it is the Venus Ketu which has been taking much more power. Yeah. Okay. And if you get married, you will do good. You will do well in marriage. I don't know who advises. See, there are lots of people who say that you are not going to get married. Marriage is not present in your chart. Hey, boss, that Venus Ketu is sitting doesn't mean that it will not. Yes, it has few risks. There are three people who came with Venus Ketu today. Yes, some challenges are there. Dirty challenges are there. But you have to, because you yourself are commitment. afraid on something of that sort. You have to figure that out. That I cannot, as an astrologer, fix for you. That's your calling, boss. You might be like, I want this kind of a person only, this kind of Venus only. That is a problem. That's why the delay. If you overcome that, then ईश्वर सबको देखता है, सबका अच्छा करता है. Trust me. Shivji is not here to hurt us or cause problems. So don't think negative, my friend. You've come here with hope. You've come here, and I always try and talk positive. I don't like to. I hate fear mongering. I hate astrologers who do this negative stuff because I've seen those people. It's not worth it. Positivity is needed, Anshuman. So think positive. Think that. Do not worry about that bit. An age gap thing that I've said, or mental gap thing that I've said, that could be there, or it could be a person who has had some sort of breakup, some sort of the divorce, or some sort of breakup, or maybe they were in a long-term live-in relationship that didn't work out. Those kind of situation will be there in life, and you have to accept it, boss. If you do not accept it, that's a problem. That's all I'll say. Don't let it play in your head, and you will have a good marriage. Seventh lord is exalted. You will get a good marriage. Saturn doesn't deny. Saturn delays it, but it doesn't make things bad. Okay, I'm speaking like a parrot. I won't speak much, but so Natal says, if I'm trying to make a switch and I have an offer, I told you that the period that you are running Natal, it is giving you a good chances because of that technical. Yeah, now I cannot solve your college issue, uh, but I hope you crack that. Shreyan's two questions I won't take. Focus in one area and one reading. Second question in the second reading. Okay. So I've answered Natal and everyone. Sandeep is a new person, and I'm going to pick up Sandeep's question now. Sandeep, thank you putting in your trust in me and joining. Guys, I do two such readings every month, and the goal is that um, I spend these two readings to answer your questions in focus. And if you are watching this live stream right now, consider you to explore membership and be here, because you get a lot of detailed insights once you are a member, and it is pretty regular as well. Sorry. So Sandeep's location is okay. What? Andhra Pradesh. Got it. So Sandeep's question is, how will the career and health be in coming 5 years? He Sandeep. Sandeep, something seems wrong, because 1980 I don't see you to be a Vrishab Lagna. I found you to be a Aries ascendant in my this thing. Okay, and I'm going to give you a perspective from Aries perspective. You should be working or staying or settling far away from your homeland. You should be in a foreign country or in a place far away from where you were born. That is where your career will be. You will do pretty well when it comes to your career. You are going to be a successful person when it comes to your career. But from a health perspective, there will be certain challenges that will keep coming in, specifically in Venus Antardasha and in Mercury Antardasha. You will find challenges. I think you could have some stomach related issues, or even communication related problems where you might stutter or something. That sort of a problem could come, or something related to throat. Those kind of challenges are prominent. But every time you have Venus and Mercury and Tardasha, I would want you to be careful. But you are not Vrishab Lagna, and I'm not sure why did you write that. Oh boy, you changed your date of birth now. Dude, how can you be wrong with your date of birth? From And sorry guys, I know some of you requested not to speak this, but you are putting March 16, 1983, and then you are putting a correction to 1998. Oh boy. and even the date is changing. And I hope your time is correct. Okay. Yes, now you are a Vrishab Lagna. Okay. My gosh. Um, you should be in job and you will do pretty well in job. Okay. Uh, Venus is the lord of second and sorry, Lagna and your sixth sitting in Lagna. You will do pretty damn well in job, and health wise also I see good situation for you now. Overall, okay, you will have ailments. Sixth lord is coming to Lagna, or you might have court cases or loans that might trouble you. That will be there, but you will be able to come out of it, because see, Jupiter is also giving an aspect to your sixth, and it is fixing a lot of problems for you from that perspective. From a current dasha perspective, you are going through moon Venus, okay, and minor challenges could be there right now, but I think your marka are your Mercury and Mars, so you got to be careful from that perspective. However, I think there could be minor issues either with respect to health or other problems that I was referring to that might come your way. Excuse me. But I think you are going to do pretty well overall health wise. Okay. There is not, excuse me, there's not any major trouble that I anticipate coming your way. And um, see, coming year, you should expect some promotion next year, some growth, some change in designation, some sort of career enhancement is expected next year for you. So please be ready for that. Very good, exciting times coming. Please watch my Moon Mahadasha video as well. It will give you a lot of clarity for the current period that you're running in for the next year, which is coming up for you, Sandeep. You are going to do well in that. Okay. Anna, thank you for your generous $2.7 contribution. Please take that refund. This reading is only for membership and members only. You will have to shell out a few more dollars and be a member and get regular answers to your question. Whatever amount last time also you can contributed, Anna, whatever amount you spend actually, it's the same amount that you get membership overall to get your questions answered. So please consider that. And unfortunately, I will not be able to answer any paid questions in this, because this is a dedicated time for my full time audience and I will spend time for them. Okay. I'm so sorry, but I will not be able to do so. All right. So I've answered Sandeep's question too. Sam, thank you for being online. Let's take up your question now. I think Sam has been here for a while. 7. Okay. Uh, PM 13. Durban. Okay. Sam, I hope health wise, last time, like we were discussing, you were okay and no major troubles. Now, with respect to marriage, your seventh lord is Venus, and Venus is in combustion in your ninth house in this thing. So, again, fortunately, unfortunately, that's a tricky situation in your chart as well. Then you have retrograded Saturn sitting in your Lagna, which is giving an aspect to your seventh house. So definitely, it is going to cause delays and it is going to cause troubles in marriage as well. Okay, don't be surprised, because Mercury Venus combination with Mars, all three of them in conjunction. Uh, this remedy may suit you or not. First of all, I would want you to just, whenever, whichever God you pray into or believe into, since I don't want to force any kind of spiritual remedy, whatever God you believe in, just ask for support, but do that sitting in open in sunlight. Pray in sunlight in whichever God you believe in, and pray in the morning. I want you to absorb sunlight in the morning. If you cannot offer water to sun, then just do this. This is an important remedy for you, boss. uh, and it is going to do so much good that you have no idea. then you are starting with a period, or you are going through actually a period which is going to bring in romance in your life, okay, currently. And within this period, right now as we speak, from September to December is a period that gives you an opportunity to get married. If you are dating anyone, propose her. It will be a good decision. If you are dating anyone, propose her. It will be a very, very good decision. Okay. If not, then you will get a window in 2026, second half, September onwards. Same period like right now, September to December in 2026 as well. That would also be a good period for you to propose somebody. But keep dating until then. Okay. If not, then there's a long waiting period. All the way from 2031 onwards, you have a window where you should definitely get married between second half of 2031 till Jan of 2034. But the other two windows that I've given you, Sam, they are much closer, they are much early, and they are much better periods for you to consider getting married. But please remember the remedy. Whichever god you believe in, kindly express yourself, open your arms up, sit in the sunshine and the sunlight, and then pray, and that is going to be the right remedy for you. All right, Preeti, hello. I'll take up your question now. Preeti's question. um, no. Preeti, every time you come, I make the same joke, and I'm so sorry about that. But Preeti, that's what I remember. Kiddo, I hope you're doing well. I was telling my spouse about it. I was telling my wife about this, that there is this member of mine, and every time I tease her because it is my wife who's put this in my head, right? She watches this movie and she watches Shahid's reaction of calling Preeti, and I end up doing it every time I see you. But so happy to see you, and I remember you because being a Scorpio ascendant and debilitated sun, which is what has stuck in my head about your chart. So, I want to know about what should be my approach towards marriage. I'm getting pressure from my mother for marriage, but I don't want to marry. Yes, that is because of that Ketu, you don't want to marry. And I understand and I completely get it. And your Venus is also debilitated. Um, and I completely get it. See, one thing is that you should consider marriage in the current dasha. There will be a troubled Ketu period for you in future, but don't be scared about it. Okay, don't be scared about it. You can consider. Um I wouldn't be surprised if the marriage was delayed and stuff, but right now is the period where you can consider marriage. Okay, and within that, actually, this was the perfect period that was running for you. Gosh. However, next year, okay, next year, August to December, you can get married. Get married. I told you it is important to explore all aspects in life. Get married next year, October to December 2025. Mercury, Jupiter. Okay. And I know Jupiter is in combustion. Still, I'm telling you this. Okay. Or even next year, first half. Even next year, first half. See, Moon and Mars conjunction is there, so that marriage has been delayed. But even next year, first half, in, up till April, you can get married. 2025 is a good year for you to consider getting married. Okay. And first half of 2025 is a better period, actually, in my mind. You will find a lot of mental peace in getting married at that time. Don't delay it. And please do chart matching because of your Ketu. That's why I'm suggesting please do chart matching. And plus, you have Mangal dosha as well, right? So do that. And I hope, Preeti, you promised me that you're offering water to sun. Please do that. I see a lot of people have troubled sun in my, and I'm having a debilitated sun myself. Okay. I don't know if I'm attracting that kind of energies, but guys, all of us, if you've got this feedback from me, all of us, we should work towards fixing that. So I'm also trying to do it. It's not that I'm just preaching the choir out here. No, I'm also doing the same thing. So we should do that, and it is going to be very, very helpful. Okay. And I see the effects of it. Shashank, welcome to Devastrology. Thank you for joining in. And I see the next question is from Dishant, which is what I'm going to pick up now. Um, 9. Okay. 10:50 a.m. And Dishant's place of birth is. Dishant, you've not put the place of birth. Okay, Pathankot. Uh, okay, so Dishant's question is towards his brother. Um, he will do well in trading kind of roles if he is not interested in pursuing any job. Then from a business perspective, he will do pretty well from a trading mindset, but speculation might not be a good thing for him. Okay, speculation may not at all be a good idea for him. He would have struggled when it had come to his education as well. Some sort of a problem would have come in his education. Okay, he should not do saving in his own name. He should not put the business entity savings in his own name. He should put it in the company's entity or in somebody else's name. That will be important, but he must start with a job just to get heckled, just to get some problems for some time, or some period in his life he will have to do job. Yeah. Yeah, but I think getting into trading kind of a business, it could be stock market trading, it could be commodities trading, it could be doing trade, literally physical stuff, trading and sending it somewhere else. All those kind of activities will be a very, very interesting move for him. He will do exceedingly well when it comes to that. He also has his sun debilitated. He must offer water to Surya regularly, and it will give him gains. Okay, and it may not be a bad idea for him to leave his house and go away somewhere. He will do well if he travels, or let me put it this way, if not move away from his house, he should start traveling a lot. Traveling and trading is the profession for him. Traveling to foreign land, foreign places, wherever he is born, far away from that place, he must travel and try and sell stuff. He should focus on that, not keep savings in his own name but somebody else's name, his spouse's name or company name. That will be better. If he keeps the money, he will spend it all, and he will not be a good trader. But if the moment he does that, he is going to do exceedingly well. Some For some period, even working under the father may not be a bad idea as a job. But then this guy has very strong yoga of doing something of his own, and it'll take time for him to flourish. It'll take time for him to succeed. Saturn is in debilitation, though in retrograde. It'll take some time, but he will come out. He will do well. Okay. I hope that answers the question. Aether, thank you. Dishant's question is answered. So as Roberto's. Whether government job, business, or share. I told you, share market is also trading. Is disabled. Uh, yeah, don't I don't like the word disabled. I, I don't know the situation, but there is some special ability your brother will have. He should be trading. Okay, and he will struggle initially. That's what I've told you already. He will struggle initially, but eventually he will start doing better. Okay. No, no, not government job at all. Okay. All right. Next question is from Shashank. Have I not answered your question already? I don't know, man. Shashank's question is, all right. So yes, Shashank, see, your 10th lord is going to 12th. Your foreign interaction and foreign connection is definitely there, and you have your luck lord sitting in Pisces, moon in the ninth house. Oh my gosh, very very good. Then you have 11th and second connection. Second lord is going and sitting in 11th, sun. Very strong dhan yoga, boss. However, your Venus is getting combust along with Mercury, but it is in retrogression. But very strong dhan yoga in your case. And Rahu is in 10th. Your rise is in 40s. Okay. In the age of 40s, Shashank, you will see tremendous rise in your career, in your life. You are already running through Venus Dasha. Watch my Venus Mahadasha video, Sun Mahadasha video, and Moon Mahadasha video. All three, they are very very important. Okay, they are very very important for you on an immediate basis. Right now, you are spending this year, 2025. You are going to expand your business from 2025 to 2028. You are going to expand your business, Shashank. Very nice. So how much money I cannot put a dollar term on your this thing, but you have very strong wealth yogas and few very good combinations which promise good amount of career growth. You have to do a lot of travel. This year you should do travel and try and make new customers. You are going to expand on it and you are going to do very, very well. Okay, Shashank. So I don't know what to promise more, but this is a good chart. I see a lot of positivity. Sid S. I think I've already answered a question for you. Let me just recheck if I have not. Okay, did I miss it? I'm surprised. So that is your first question. Guys, I forget stuff as well. So my request will be that please do not do double questions, but I'm taking question for Sid S. Okay. I thought I already answered Sid's question, but I could be wrong. Number 10, okay, 10, number 1987, yeah, and 15 a.m. Pune. Okay, so okay, so yeah, Moon is in the eighth house. That is why this problem. That is why this problem. Saturn is with Venus, and Moon is in the eighth house, and Mars is with Ketu, and Jupiter is in with Rahu. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is such a peculiar situation. See, see this frustration will be there till end of next year. Yeah. I don't have any remedy for you. uh, till end of next year there will be this frustrating situation, and this problem was more from the last 2 3 years, from 2020 onwards, since COVID onwards. Your mother-in-law or your even in-laws in general would have been giving a lot of frustration, and you also have debilitated son. So see, the way to tackle that frustration is that you have to figure out. See, till 2025, one more year you have a struggling period. Okay, now within that period, things should improve after this December. You take a holiday, you know, take a holiday somehow with your spouse. That's a remedy actually. That's a remedy actually. Because your moon is so troubled, ninth lord coming to eighth, ask your friend to take a holiday of some sort. Very important. Travel. Like travel somewhere, that is going to be very important. And at least things will improve some bit from 2025 onwards. But once the Rahu Antardasha ends for her, that is when she will see improvement from January of 2026. In her husband's behavior itself. In her husband's behavior itself, she will see the difference. Lot of difference. And husband will not be a very romantic guy. That is another problem. She will have to do all the initiation. The weird character, like he will not. It's not that he's not romantic, but he's not able to display it. He has some other illusion running in his head. That's the problem. So you have to wait for 1 year, but for the next year, plan some travel. Very, very important. You should plan some travel and just don't fight about that planning, but do that. Okay. Shelly says, not thinking of marriage, but please tell about health. Shelly, next time. Sorry, one question per person. Indian Probe has joined and Indian Probe has asked a question. So let me take his question. Indian Probe. What is the question? 22,000. Bye. All right. So, question is success in politics. You will think about politics all life long. Rahu is in the Lagna. You will think about politics all life long. I will not recommend you to go for it. Mars is combust. Okay, respect is not there in politics. If that, let me rephrase this question. You will think about your career in politics. You might even make your career in politics. Okay. Yes, you might even make your career in politics. And you might make it not in your hometown, somewhere away. Somewhere away you'll have to go. But respect will be tough to gain. Gains you will make. I hope you get what I'm trying to say, Indian Probe. Respect will be hard, but gains will be there. And if you go and do that somewhere else from your place of birth, you will find gains in your this thing. So you should consider doing that. And your period is something which is running in that space. You can jump into that, or if not right now, if you're not able to jump into politics right now, then wait, do something else until then, and wait, because your interest will not be there in anything else. Your 10th lord itself is combust. Wait for the year 2035. That is when the period comes for you. 2035 to 2037 for a rise in that. Okay. Gains will be there, but designation, post, success, it's not that you will become, you could be associated with politics or political powerful people. That is what is very much possible. Some sort of governmental association, and you will make money out of it. You will make some gains out of it, Indian Pro. That is what I see for you. or else you have to wait all the way till next year. Okay. All right. uh, PK family, where is your question? I did not take. Okay, PK family, I miss your question? I'm so sorry about that. One second. Before jumping into your question, I just let me see. So there is Anirban who's put a question. Anirban I know is a regular member. And sorry, PK family, I missed your question by mistake. I think the screen got scrolled and I missed your question. Maybe I'll just take your question. Milindev. 6 2006. 10:15 a.m. Okay. And your place of birth is Pune. So you have to ask, Milind, you have to ask very specific questions that what you are seeking for. You had reached out on Instagram, finally looking to take membership. Thank you, Milind, for putting that trust in me. You've asked about career and money in general, so I'll give you. See, money is going to come, but it is going to come late in life, in your post or 30s. Okay. Yes, and it is going to come big. It is going to come big. Some issues will be there, but you will do well. Don't worry. Even though your lord is combust, Mercury is combust, even then I'm telling you it is going to do very, very well. It is going to, but you will have to put in a lot of effort for that. Lot of effort. You have a window, your Surya Mahadasha window is going to be extremely critical. You are 2006 birth. Means by the year 2032, when your Venus is coming to end, you will be 26 years. Your sun will be mature. And you have those 6 years, especially in your 30, 31, 32, even in your moon Mahadasha, where you will crack open big. Okay. So that is very important for you. Second thing is you will have this interest of making something large, something big, accomplishing something big. That will be one of your goals. It's not a bad idea. Your Jupiter is in exchange with Venus. Very, very good. You must consider professions in these two spaces itself. You will have to do job of some sort. That is for sure. You'll have to do a job for some sort, and at some point in time in future you might get interested in doing a business as well, but you will make good money. I can see that. Large amount of money will come in late ages, but in your sun Mahadasha, do not let that slip away at all. At all, boss. Very, very important, Milan, to make full use of it. And you make use of your dashas by preparing well for that period. So this is the time to prepare well for that period. Got it? I hope that answers your question. And because you asked a general question, so I can only give you general dasha based analysis. Now, Anirban's question. Anirban has also been with the channel for a couple of months now. 55 Agartala. All right, and this is the last question, hopefully, for the channel. Anna, thank you for the contribution, but not looking in this. You have to be a member to get answers in this thing. You can take your refund back. That's completely fine. So just wanted a general light on my career and financial situation in future. So this 6 months is what we'll focus on, because that's a very good specific question, and that is exactly good use of membership, guys. That's exactly what you should be doing. So you're running through Rahu Venus. Within that, you have Rahu, Venus, Jupiter, and then you will have Rahu, Venus, Saturn for the next 6 months. Okay. Jupiter is combust. That's where all this period of Jupiter you were facing trouble. Venus is in your ninth. It's well placed, seventh lord, and sitting in there, and is your second lord as well. From a money perspective, it's a good placement. Okay. It's a Raj Yoga placement. But Jupiter until 19th 20th of October you will struggle. Your Saturn is very well placed. Things are going to change for you from October end, November onwards, and they are going to be good for the next 6 months until April of 2025. And then again you will face trouble in Mercury, and then again you will find respite after that. Okay, so next 6 months are going to be a window for you to bounce back. You also need to offer, see, I have seen so many combusted planets and Surya debilitated planets, people coming into the reading today and asking bunch of questions. So all of us, maybe I'm attracting that energy, all of us, we need to, yeah, Anirban, remedy for you, definitely start offering water to Surya. Number one, you should also do it. Surya is in the eighth for you. It is in a hidden situation. But next 6 months are going to be much better, boss. You try and find a job or anything in your business that you want to do. Some gains are written for you in the next 6 months, Anirban. Some six till April 2025, some gains are written. Then again, you will have some challenging period. If you are in a job, you might have some challenging period there as well. You might not find or maybe some health issue can come, not necessarily job issue, health issue could be a problem. Or maybe with respect to driving and stuff, just be careful while driving and stuff, don't take any risks. Okay, so I hope that gives clarity. All the additional people who are watching this video, thank you for watching as well. Those who have not considered taking subscription membership, please consider that. It gives a lot of value to you guys as well. And for all the people who done fan funding, you will get your refund back, because I don't intend to have that. It's for a general reading where you can definitely do it, but not for this one. We don't need in this one. Okay, this is for members only, and consider taking membership. It has a lot of advantages to you. I hope you've enjoyed this reading, guys. If you have, please smash on that like button. Thank you for your time, and see you 2 weeks later. Bye.